Jaguar was clear. This isn't about politics.
Trump administration, don't forget the Biden administration had the ability to release these files as well, and they didn't either.
True.
So this isn't a political thing. Let's stop making it political. I think everyone wants to make it political. Oh, look at the politicians, and this isn't about the rappers, and this isn't about this, and this is about the politicians. No, it's not. No, it's not, because you got Democrats and Republicans equally aligned up in this whole foolishness. This is about a certain class of people in this country that have been doing all kinds of shit. And it really doesn't matter what your religious background is, what your social standing is, or what your political standing is. It really doesn't matter. This is not about them versus us, or no. This is about the weirdos and then the normal people. And not even normal people, just decent people. The problem is that the weirdos are outnumbering, it's looking like, the decent people, 10-1. Like, does anybody get that? Like, the simple fact that nobody is holding TMZ into account for anything, and they've been mentioned in these files. Harvey Levin specifically.
To Jaguar, the silence says everything. Elon Musk's situation also took a sharper turn with the document release. Musk has previously said he refused invitations to Epstein's Island, but emails from 2012 suggest something different.
Tonight, the Department of Justice releasing their final batch of files connected to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. New emails from 2012 and 2013 show billionaire Elon Musk and Epstein coordinating a possible visit to the financier's infamous island. Musk asks when the wildest party will be. In another exchange, Epstein telling Musk there is always space for you and says he will send a heli for him. It's not clear if Musk ever visited the island. Musk's name has popped up in prior releases, including from the House Oversight Committee's release from the Epstein estate. He did not respond to NBC News' request for comment, but previously called Epstein a cretin and said he never advised him. Musk told Vanity Fair that Epstein tried repeatedly to get him to his island, but he declined. Emails also show Trump Cabinet Secretary Howard Lutnick coordinating a visit in the Caribbean in 2012. It's not clear if the meetings happened. Lutnick claimed to have cut ties with Epstein in 2005.
My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
But the emails show drink and lunch meetings being arranged between the two well into 2012. A Commerce Secretary spokesperson said in a statement, quote, Secretary Lutnick has had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing. The drop also includes a spreadsheet summary of complaints made to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. It contained allegations against former President Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. There's no indication the FBI turned up evidence supporting the tips. And a note on the file read some of these individuals are reporting secondhand information and determined some of the tips were not credible. The DOJ later temporarily pulled the file without explanation. Both former presidents have denied any wrongdoing.
Woody Allen's name appears repeatedly throughout the files. Epstein often tried to organize dinners involving Allen, sometimes looping in other well-known figures. Epstein also helped facilitate introductions related to Allen's film projects. A prominent lawyer contacted Epstein about getting his son work on an Allen film, and Epstein responded that he would look into it. Cat Williams also pointed out something else people don't like to talk about. He said there are public figures who project one image, but somehow never seem to run into legal trouble, even while speaking as if they live the opposite kind of life. In his view, that contrast alone should make people stop and think. He compared it to a chessboard. You don't play the game without pawns, and you don't always know who's playing what role.
In Hollywood exist, in religious circles, in politics, in the medical profession, and Yeah.
In any circle of business, really.
Yeah.
They had a big bust with Puff Daddy where he got arrested. And then they've had like accusations and stuff. He hasn't gone on trial, I don't think yet. But do you think that there's been speculation that they did that because the timing of that was they wanted to like use other people that have allegedly been involved in some of his circles they wanted to kind of use like, okay, you could be next unless you help this political plan. Do you think that's at all possible?
That's how all cases are handled.
Yeah.
Right? So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's car theft and we're going to accuse you of having a carjacking ring, right? We're going to begin by bringing in people that we caught who were robbing cars, who said that you was the boss. They're first in line. And then we're going to bring in victims, the people whose cars you stole and said, yeah, that was him. That's how they build a case. So none of that should be shocking.
When asked whether public figures sometimes seem changed after reaching certain levels of power, Cat didn't hesitate. He said people don't always come out the same on the other side of big choices. Once someone crosses lines they once swore they never would, something about them shifts, and no amount of image repair can fully bring back who they used to be. He explained that offers and pressure aren't limited to entertainment. They show up in every field. Some of it, he said, is just human nature. People listen. People stay quiet. People justify things to survive. Cat shared that even he was shocked when he personally saw how much control certain powerful figures had behind the scenes. He said there were moments when it became clear that some people were used to never hearing the word no. If they wanted something, they expected the system to bend until they got it. Toward the end, the conversation touched on government agencies and long-standing rumors. Cat didn't dismiss them outright. He said people often misunderstand what agencies like the FBI or CIA actually do. In his view, they've always been doing their jobs. Sometimes that job involves watching, documenting, and waiting, for decades if necessary. He made one final point that landed hard. The only reason files can surface decades later is because someone was watching and recording the whole time. And that realization, he said, is the part that should really make people uneasy. Now that the files are public, celebrities who once felt untouchable are suddenly quiet, defensive, or disappearing from the spotlight. Hollywood is uncomfortable right now, and for the first time in a long time, it shows.
I've known Cat Williams for over 20 plus years. From his hilarious stand-up specials and concerts to his insights on our culture.
The stuff you've done is not even doable in a small market, let alone a large.
From movies like Friday After Next to television shows like My Wife and Kids to the roast of Flavor Flav, and who could forget his appearance on Club Shay Shay.
When he said, "Come on, Cat," and he was like, "No, man, nobody's going to want to do my show." Do you remember what you told him?
I told him lots of people were.
You said they're all coming.
Cat Williams and his unapologetic comedy style has us constantly laughing and thinking. It's 2026 now, and Cat Williams is releasing his new Netflix special, The Last Report. And he sat down with me for a new episode of Big Boys Off Air. So grab yourself a drink, some smoke, or however you get down, maybe some popcorn. This is Big Boys Off Air with Cat Williams.
Look, let me explain something to you. I'm not scared to say nothing.
I know that shit.
I'll say it.
Man, it is a pleasure to see you, brother. Where do we start? Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning. Yes.
Hey, man, so we here at a new year. And do you do resolutions or anything like that, or you just kind of don't do that stuff?
I do weekly. Like I'm constantly in the midst of a resolution.
You working on something right now?
At all times, I'm trying to refine this thing, and just get better. And that's where being, messed up is so helpful, because you got so much, I got so much to fix. Like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, there's no such thing called perfect, huh? Or when you say no, I'm done, I'm fine now.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty perfect where it is right now.
Right. But you also know, Cat, how to appear and disappear. Is that by design for you to appear and disappear?
As a hunter, it's part of how it goes, is that the prey has to be given enough time to relax and to feel like it's okay. And
come back
they
out.
can maybe say something or do something, and
But talking with you also, Cat, are you aware of everything? And the reason why I ask you that is, even though if you know how to appear and disappear, right?
Right.
It seemed like you still hear things and see things, just from the conversation that we had before we sat down.
That's part of the disappearance. Like I'm saying, I'm not disappearing to twiddle my thumbs. I'm disappearing to do the behind the scenes work, the inner work, the shadow work necessary to pull off what it is I'm trying to pull off against, at times, supernatural competition. So, yeah, we stay in the gym.
When you say the supernatural, because there's certain things, man, that you you created a path that I feel is a blueprint to the way a lot of people do things now. Because when we first sat down, probably 2 decades ago, easy, the world was who's booking you, where you going, what production company you're with, who's doing your shows. And now we've seen the business move in a whole different direction. But you were already doing that, where when your shows went off, your name appeared in the credits, not just as a person, as the talent, but you made sure that either you put up your own money, executive produced it. Why was that important to you years ago?
My God is just so faithful. Like, I already knew, like, you know how they say know your worth? Mm-hmm. Like, I knew it. I knew my actual worth. And it can be a little more depressing if that's the case, if you don't achieve it, But I had long faith, and I believed in the product. Mm-hmm. I believed in the conversation that was being had. So to have paid for, produced, did all 12 of the first specials like that, that's because, like, this is my product. Like, this is the best thing about me here that I'm selling. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy sell. Because I'm at least, if nothing else, I'm trying my best.
Right.
Yeah.
But we get this thing when everybody's looking to the right.
Mm-hmm.